Hey guys, welcome back to Zoe Knows, and today Zoe Knows oil changes. So I'm here about to work on my 2009 F250 gas truck, and it's time to change the oil. So let's just get right into it. A couple of things that you are going to need for this job. It's pretty simple job. So obviously you're going to need something to catch the oil. This is a 15 quart oil pan. I use it all the time. If you don't have one that big or your car is smaller, there's a smaller one. That's about 3 or 4, I think. Can't remember what size that is. Then you're going to need the oil filter wrench tool. You may need it, you may not. I generally can do it with my hand, both putting it on and taking it off. For me, my plug uses a 5/8 socket, so I have that. And then you may need some shop towels or some shop paper towel or something to for some cleanup. Doing your oil on any vehicle, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. If you've never done it, you may feel a little overwhelmed and think, hey, I can't do that. Well, this video is going to help you to be able to do your oil change. Once you can do your own oil change, you are going to be saving a lot of money. Depends on how much driving you do. I typically will do my own oil changes during the summer months. Right now it's December in January, and it's December in Georgia, so it's not that bad out. A little cool, but I'll do it generally depending on how much the oil at the auto parts store is versus how much it's going to cost me to get it done at at a place that an oil change shop, you know, the quick 10-minute oil change. And on all of my high mileage vehicles like this one, this has about 230,000 miles on it. Truck runs great, but I use full synthetic. And that can get a little pricey at the oil change place. So this time I end up catching a deal at the local auto parts store, 5 quarts and a filter for $34.99. My truck, however, takes 7 quarts. So this is a 2009 F250. I've got 7 quarts. And I'm also getting 2 free movie tickets with that purchase. So hopefully they give them right away. I think I plan on going to the movies tonight. Yeah. So jumping into it. My truck, I don't have to jack anything up. I sit pretty high off the ground here. And I would generally just grab a box, put it up under there. It is December in Georgia, so the concrete is kind of cold. That just gives me something to lay on top of. Again, I don't have to jack my truck up, or as you can see, any of my trucks. I don't have to jack up. There's one in the garage. That, however, is a different story. So, I'll take my socket, 5/8. Now I'll take my pan. So, in most vehicles, or should I say all vehicles, I'm not going to say all because I don't know for sure, but the oil pan is in the front. Then you can kind of tell where it is. It'll be generally on the front of the trans, and you can tell there's a little bolt there, and for me there's my oil filter up there. So typically what you want to do, if your vehicle is cold before you do your oil change, you want to take it out and drive it and warm that oil up a little bit, and make sure it's a little more thin, and it's gonna all come out. I've been driving it all day, so my oil is warm. With that being said, once you remove this bolt here and the filter, it will be a little warm. It may be hot, it may be a little warm. I can generally not get too much oil on my hands, and if I do, it's not that bad for me. Sometimes I use gloves, sometimes I don't. In this case, I'm not going to use any. Operating the camera, so you just untighten that. You see it kind of leaking down. And that's great. I'm getting oil on the tip of on the handle of my socket wrench. All right, once I get that out of there, I can hand do it. And this is where you may get some oil on you, but if you're smooth enough, that shot out there, I almost missed well, there's no almost, I did miss it, got on the grass a little bit. So I'll take that bolt, set it in there, let that drain out, and I'll let that do its thing and come back and hit the oil filter. Before you get started, you want to go ahead and pop your hood, unloosen that oil cap. And for me, my hood is here. Most of them are there on vehicles. And there's a latch generally. For me, my latch is right here on the side. That was my little latch right there. Yours might be in the center or whatnot. Locate your oil cap. For me, it's here. And you just take that off. That's gonna let some of the pressure off of that, to let all that oil come out, and then you drain. Alrighty, now the oil has been draining for about 3-4 minutes. Doesn't take too long. It's just a little drip right now, and that's fine. Now you've got the oil filter to remove. Generally, I can get that with my hand. It's pretty difficult. Oh, I got a little movement. Let's see if we can get a better grip. And this is when you use the tool. So I couldn't take it off with my hand, so I went and grabbed the tool. And that's moving pretty good. There we go. And there we go. Make sure your pan is right up under. That is going to start leaking. I'll generally let it leak a little bit. Roll my sleeves up, and you're gonna get a little messy possibly on this one if you don't let it leak all out. So I'll let that do a little leaking, and then I'll just remove that completely. I'll set that upside down and put on top of my oil pan. My oil catcher pan, it has a little slot. You can probably see it kind of right here, a little ring right there. It's kind of designed to stick the oil filter right there and turn it upside down and let it drain. You don't have to use that spot, but they thought about it, so hey, why not? All right. And there you go. That's gonna leak out. And there's a little oil on my hands. It's not hot right now, and I've been driving my truck all day. It's not scorching hot, so it's warm. And that's where the shop towels come in. No big deal. So we let both of those drain out. Now we'll generally wipe around that oil filter. I'll give that a few more minutes to kind of fully drain out. The most important step is putting the plug back in before you start filling with oil. We'll get moving so fast. I've done this a million times for all of my vehicles, year after year, month after month. I mean, this truck, it generally gets an oil change once a month. I'm driving it that much. So you get moving, you get rolling. It takes me, you know, without doing this video, it'll take me 10 or 15 minutes to do this. So if I'm rushing or if I'm trying to get it done real quick, it's a possibility to forget that plug. Don't do it. Go ahead and put that plug back in. If you get out a little bit. Let's see where we are. You got a little bit of a leak there. Screw that back in. And that's sitting upside down draining real nice like. And we just hit that back in nice and tight. And you don't have to kill it and over tighten it. Just a little hand tight. The manual probably has the foot-pounds of a spec, but I generally have done this a million times, so I kind of know about where. Just a little bit tighter than hand tight. And I clean out the surrounding areas there. And that's the most important part, putting the plug back in. Now, we just put that oil filter in. Before you put the new filter on, you want to take a little dab of oil from the old oil and just rub it around there on that gasket. That's gonna just kind of lubricate that up a little bit. Get a little bit in there. And I'm just dipping my finger right over in the old oil here. And you're just putting it around there. Kind of lubricate that on up. That's going to help it spin on and tighten on a little bit and form a good seal. So just going to put a little bit around there and then screw it on. So just take that filter and always remember, pretty much with everything, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. They spin on pretty quick, and it generally says to hand tighten and then turn it backwards a quarter turn. All right, so this is completely hand tightened here. And just kind of get you a landmark, I just looked at this little number here, and a quarter turn will be that number on this side. So, boom, quarter turn. And that's it. So we've got the plug back in, we've got the filter on. Now it's just time to put the oil back in the vehicle. All right, now it's just time to fill the vehicle back up. Make sure you get a good funnel. Or a funnel. I actually need a larger one. That is a smaller hose, kind of like a transmission funnel. Just gonna take a little while for me to use this one. I can't just pour it all in because it's gonna kind of back up like this. And then you gotta kind of wait for it to go down and then go in. So nonetheless, it can get done. If you spill any in the engine, try to get it up. Once you start it, it may smoke a little bit if you're trying to burn that oil off. All 7 quarts for me. Just got to start the vehicle, let it run a little bit, check the oil, make sure it's at the proper level. If you put the proper amount of quarts in there, you're good to go. If it's a little low, add another quart, add some more. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, Zoe knows. Any questions, comments, leave them below. I'll holler. Oh yeah, don't forget to recycle your oil. Most, I believe pretty much all auto parts stores, Advance, Napa, AutoZone, they all recycle oil. So that oil container there that I have there, I'll just take that up there, and they've got a big huge oil container in the back where you can recycle. You should not throw the oil in your trash and take it out. That goes to our landfills. This right here is recycled properly. So remember, recycle your oil. Thank you.